traffic over the ranch. Their aircraft transponder data feed does not rely on online services like some online flight trafficking websites that a lot of people use, but this data they are receiving is tracked by the equipment that they have, and basically they keep a record of any flights that are over the area, so that way if there's a UFO report from anyone in the area, they have their own log that they can rely on. And then over the last year, several strange cases of extreme electromagnetic fields have been logged on the ranch. According to Bard, who's the command center guy, these EM fields are transient. They come and go, and they move around at times, and have reached levels dangerous to humans. And according to the ranch team, several times in the last few years, people on the ranch have become ill, and some even required hospitalization. Thomas Winterton himself was hospitalized with a life-threatening swelling in the brain and a collection of fluid between the skull and the scalp, which the team believes occurred when he attempted to dig on the ranch.
I actually saw a snippet of him talking about this, and he says that his skull actually deconnected from his scalp with the size of the bump, and I almost threw up when I heard him say it. So okay, I know who this Thomas Winterton guy is. I remember seeing him.
Oh my god, I didn't look into the seriousness of that because it already sounded serious enough. Okay. Some of the medical tests resulted in inconclusive results for common causes such as an injury, and it seems the jury is still out, and Winterton is currently still being monitored by his doctors for this, whatever the heck it was. Another screen in the command center monitors the radio frequencies at which electromagnetic signals are detected on the ranch. Due to the ranch's significant distance from radio and cellular towers, the radio signals typically remain at a very low level. On occasion, there are several anomalous occurrences of sudden bursts across the wide range of the RF spectrum, which is not typical of a single signal source or station. And they also have their own weather monitoring station. They have so much high tech now on the property that it is a paranormal investigator's paradise. So they're really out there. I can say from all the stuff that I've watched, this new owner is really excited about the science behind all of it, and he's really putting in the effort to tech up the ranch and see what the frick is going on.
Good, we like rich people that use their money for stuff like that.
Right. Ooh, this was interesting. So Bard's favorite system is something he designed and built himself, and it's called Satan. And it stands for Centennial Assignment Telemetry and Notification. And it's a 4-legged metal unit with a built-in computer and screen. And Satan is equipped to detect vibrations in the ground and air at very low frequencies, transient magnetic fields, as well as infrasonic and seismic activity. So I guess they're trying to get to the bottom of those rumblings in the ground. Finally. Whew. This place is just so overwhelming for my brain. Now we're about to get into some more stories.
Did you say how big the actual property was? I think you already mentioned that. But
512 acres.
Okay, 512 acres.
And when I try to put that into perspective in my own brain, I remember back in the day, I lived on a land that was 3.5 acres, but our neighbor had 100 plus. And I never even explored all of that. We would ride 4-wheelers all the time, and I don't remember ever seeing that whole property. So I can't imagine times 5. But anyways, so what I'm about to go over now is just some more stories, I guess. Okay, so in 1930, one of the guys that lived on the ranch came out with the first story of a cattle mutilation that occurred there. And then in 1970, cattle mutilations started becoming a lot more common, not only on the ranch but around the whole area.
I've never really understood cattle mutilations. I feel like they happen like a lot, especially in like alien related things, but like why? Like I don't understand. I mean, I guess nobody has a real answer else.
Dude, and like so many like consistent things happen with all of them. Like all of their muscles will be ripped apart, like ripped off and just be gone. There won't be any blood on the ground from whatever's going on. And like they even did an experiment on the ranch and they like poured like real animal blood on the ground to see like if the ground absorbs it really fast or something, but it stayed there for days. And another thing is like they'll go out and like tag these cattle because they're out there raising like Angus beef cattle. Like they're expensive and they take it seriously, which I don't know why they still do after all this time. Because obviously they
So we could eat cattle that comes from Skinwalker Ranch.
I'm sure it's probably like a local meat. I don't know, but and like they'll slice off the ear of the cow with a tag on it, or like it looks like their eyeballs, like something circular, just like went, and like there's just a perfect circle in their bone, and like their snouts will be like skinned, and then they'll like be flayed out like a sacrifice or some weird.
That's so weird, man. I don't like that.
And like the only thing I can logically come up with in my head, because it's so weird. I'm just gonna get into all of the cattle mutilation shit I have right now, but like it's just so weird. What was I even thinking about? Because so many things just came into my mind.
It's almost, I feel like, as if something's like eating it and like drinking the blood or something. It's like that's like the only explanation for that.
My theory is that aliens are abducting them, and like they must survive off of freaking cow meat or something, and they like hurry up and get it all off, and then they drop them back down because the farmers say it looks like some of these cows have been dropped from a high distance. So
Dude, poor damn cows.
I know, and they also like scientists and vets like have like examined the cows, and it seems like they go through like very like traumatic neurological trauma.
I mean, I would imagine they get like skinned and mutilated.
Okay, where's all the other things about cows in here? Because I know. Okay, so one day, I think this was, when Terry Sherman owned the ranch, him and his wife went out at about 2 p.m. to check on something in the ranch, and they were like talking to each other about how devastating it would be to lose any more of their Angus cows. And when they drove back in, 4 bulls were missing. And somehow, like, they started panicking. They thought, like, they lost 4 more cows. But there was, like, this little shed that was probably, like, as long as this room, but, like, way more narrow, of course. And somehow, these 4 bulls were locked in this shed. And it looked like no one opened the door. Like, it's a, like, big metal lock, and it still had cobwebs, like, all around it, like, undisturbed.
Yeah.
And then there's the thing that these are 4 bulls. How is anyone that's not trained, like, gonna get 4 bulls into a enclosed area without, like, killing each other? And then it was also, like, raised up, and it's something about, like, bulls don't really, like, step up high surfaces like that. So it's just, like, baffling how did these 4 bulls get in there. And then they said that, like, they seemed like they were all in this, like, daze. And it wasn't until, like, they heard someone, like, scream or another animal or something, and they, like, snapped out of it and started going crazy.
What would be the purpose of somebody putting those bulls in that shed, though?
It's part of, like, the trickster, like, element of the land.
I feel that.
Because, like, they truly think that whatever force is on the ranch wanted to purely trick them to make them think that they lost more cows because they were talking about it when they were passing it.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. And then there's the story in 1997, they went out to tag the calves. They went 300 yards away from the calves that they had just tagged, and their dog was with them too. And then the dog began like looking back at the calves that they had tagged over there, and it was like growling and acting weird, and it took off, never was seen again. And then so they were like, let's go check out what it was growling at, and they walked back over to the calves, and there was, the mother cow was like limping and out of breath and acting really weird. And then they like kept walking, and the calf was like spread out on the ground, the muscles missing, no blood. And a vet came out to like investigate it and said like surgical precision was used, and like there was one limb that was totally ripped out of a ball joint. Like you saw the whole ball of this little leg, like. And the ranchers didn't hear or see anything, and they were only 300 yards away. It's so strange. And then I have like some pictures that I will post. Viewers' discretion advised. But like, they have like real pictures of mutilated cows from the ranch. And it just looks so horrifying. Like, they literally only leave like the legs and like the ribs and the spine.